Good afternoon. Lesson 7, Exploring Data, Measures of Dispersion. Today we are going to concentrate on how to find the standard deviation of a collection of numbers. Why? We discovered a unique phenomenon.
Example 1. 3 employees at a frozen yogurt store were each asked by their manager to fill a dozen 8-ounce cups of yogurt. The manager weighed each of the cups and recorded the following results. Which employee or employees had the most consistent record? Sean, 6.5, 7, 9, 9, 8, 7.
Third step in finding the standard deviation of a collection of data is raising the differences that we have just calculated to the second power. So number 3, raise the differences to the second power. Let's do that. Negative 1.5 to the second power, my board is jumping, is 2.25, negative 1 to the second power is 1, 1 to the second power is 1, 1 to the second power is 1, 0 to the second power is 0, 1 to the second power is 1, 0.5 to the second power is 0.25, 1.5 to the second power is 2.25, 1 to the second power is 1, 1.5 to the second power is 2.25, negative 1 to the second power is 1, negative 1 to the second power is 1. There is a shortcut for the 5 steps. There is a formula. Using the variables that I have used, it looks like sigma equals square root. I'm using the summation notation. I equals from 1 to n. And then S1 minus S bar to the second power divided by n. S1 denotes our first data, S2 denotes our second data, S3 the third, and so on, and we are going up to 12, because we have 12 data altogether, so we are going to divide by 12. S bar represents the mean of our data. The difference between the formula that we have over here and what the book provides is that the book uses S for the standard deviation, and they use a generic variable x and x bar instead of our s and s bar.
Miss Kovash, you make us work so hard. Why can't we use a scientific calculator?
I just did, but my calculations yielded a different result.
Very good observation. So you can see that these two data are slightly different from each other. And the reason behind it is that the scientific calculator is programmed differently. It has a different formula in it. The formula programmed into the scientific calculator is slightly different from the one we are using. The reason for that is because statisticians use a sample survey instead of gathering information from the entire population. This way, since they didn't survey every single member of the population, their denominator is not n, but n minus 1. You remember that we had 12 data, and I have mentioned that the formula that is used by the scientific calculators differs from our formula only in one way, and that is the denominator is not n, but n minus 1. Let's see how that works. So we have to divide 14 by 11, which is n minus 1 in our case, and square root the quotient. There it is, 14 divided by 11, square rooted, yields the exact same result. So we have just proven that the formula the scientific calculator uses is slightly different from ours. So now that you know that the calculations of the scientific calculator will yield in a slightly different result, when you're trying to find the standard deviation of a collection of data, first of all, you have to create a list. You have to enter your data very carefully. Let's do that. The first step is creating an opening bracket. To do that, I have to press the second button, and then I have to press the opening parentheses, which will yield in an opening bracket. After After that, I have to enter the data, which is provided very carefully, 6.5, comma, 7, comma, 9, comma. You can see that I'm separating the data by a comma. After we have entered our data to the scientific calculator, we have to close the bracket. Press the second button and press the closing parenthesis, which will yield in a closing bracket. Next, we have to store our data. We are going to store this list as list 1. So press the store button, and then press the second button, and press number 1. Don't forget to press enter. This way we have stored our data as list 1. The next step is pressing the second button, the stat button, using the right arrow going up to the math section. You can see that number 7 is the standard deviation, so you have to press number 7. Now the scientific calculator asks you, you want the standard deviation of what? So you have to tell the scientific calculator, list 1. Press second and the button 1. And all we have to do now is press enter. And here, just a little extra. If you are the person who goes the extra mile and would like to store your data not as list 1 but as Sean, since that's the name of the employee, you can do that. How? You want to store your data first, so press store, and then press the second button, the alpha button. That gives you the option that you can use the keys not as number keys but as letter keys. So you have to find S, E, A, N, and then press the enter button. And you have a list which is entitled Sean. Thank you so much for listening. You definitely do deserve